Fox News analyst Newt Gingrich. Newt is a free newsletter you can sign up for at newt.org. So do you think President Obama's a socialist?
Sure, of course he is.
So I'm wrong, and you and Rush Limbaugh are right. That he's a flat-out socialist. If he could, he'd take your house, because that's what socialists do. Put it under government control.
Look, they've basically nationalized the home mortgage industry. They want to nationalize the student loan industry. They have nationalized 2 of the 3 American car companies. They want to create a national health program in a country where that's 18% of the economy. I don't think that President Obama has met a government program he didn't love and didn't want to dramatically expand.
All right, but look, there's a difference, is there not, between being a far-left guy who wants the government to level the playing field for social justice, which is what I think President Obama is. Far-left guy wants social justice implemented by the government. You apparently believe that the guy really embraces the government running the economy, therefore knocking out free market economy, and even regulating private property, where you live.
Well, of course he does. I mean, of course he does. I mean, they want the Environmental Protection Agency to run the economy in terms of energy. They've announced that publicly at Copenhagen. He has appointed all these extra constitutional czars. He has a pay czar. You don't think reaching in and deciding that the government will decide what your pay ought to be? I mean, go through step by step all the different interventionist things in this administration, and it is by a big margin the most socialist, the most left-wing, the most big bureaucracy administration in American history. I mean, vastly more so than any other president we've ever had. But I want to be clear about this. I want to be very clear about it. All the things that you've cited that President Obama wants to do are things where the federal government has supplied money to the car companies, to the environmental people. They're supplying money, and he wants to control. He wants to control salaries, but he doesn't want to control my salary at News Corp. He doesn't have any right to do that, and I don't think there's any way he could do it, other than tax me to death, which he probably will. Well, first of all, what they want to do with the Environmental Protection Agency certainly extends vastly beyond how the government is spending its money. They're talking about intervening on what kind of light bulbs you use, what kind of house you build, whether you have to retrofit your house. They're talking about an immense amount of things.
Don't people do that now with zoning laws? In a town where I live, you can't put up a fence. I mean, they run the government where I live like a fascist would run it. They tell you what you can and can't do, how the lawn has to be cut a certain way, this and that. Look. And I want to come back to this, because this is very, very important for my audience, because they respect you, Mr. Speaker. They respect what you say. You believe that Barack Obama, the President of the United States, has the same mindset as a Fidel Castro, that he wants to seize private property, that he wants the government to regulate everybody's life? Do you really believe that?
Well, wait. You just took a big jump. Fidel Castro is a totalitarian communist. I don't believe that President Obama in any way is like Fidel Castro. But I do believe he is in exactly the tradition of the French socialist or the Italian socialist or the German socialist. I think he'd have been very comfortable in the Social Democratic Party in Germany. I think he'd have been very comfortable in the pre-Tony Blair Labour Party in Great Britain. I think he represents a strain of left-wing, big government. Government is smart, you're stupid. Government should decide everything. You're not capable of it. Let's look at his policies. Listen to his rhetoric. This is somebody who really does believe that if you're in private enterprise and you go out and you work hard, you're somehow doing bad things. You know, he proposed, for example, that they're going to have the student loans paid off if you go to work for government, but not if you go out and found your own small business. Now, that's not dramatically
But don't they do that at West Point? Your education is paid for if you give 5 years to the federal government.
Yeah, at West Point they say, if you're prepared to put on the uniform of the United States Army, risk your life, and serve your country full-time for the next 5 years, we'll educate you. That is a big jump from saying, let's set up a new 2-track loan program, 1 track for government employees who, by the way, are already paid higher than the average taxpayer. So this idea that you need to somehow give extra benefits to government employees is fundamentally false, because they now earn a higher salary than the average taxpayer. I mean, I think, Bill, you and I just have an honest, sincere disagreement here. I really do believe he represents the biggest government, the most Washington-centered, the most bureaucratic,
I don't disagree with
the
any
highest
of that.
tax approach.
Listen,
okay.
I'm with you all the way.
I'm willing to summarize that in one word. I'm summarizing it in one word: socialist.
Okay, but I don't know if that label applies because of really what socialism does to private property. I see Obama as Lyndon Johnson on steroids. Okay, Lyndon Johnson on steroids. Get the Great Society back. Use the EPA to control what goes in and out of the environment, and to give the government more power. I see that. I don't disagree with you on that.
You had private property and you had private businesses in Germany under the Social Democratic Party, in Great Britain under the Labour Party, in France under the Socialist, in Italy under the Socialist. It's a mixed economy. But if you're asking the question, does he think the overwhelming dominance should be government? And does he think government is smarter than the rest of us? The answer is yes.
All right. Newt Gingrich, everyone. Always a joy talking to you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.